sure.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Matt, what the hell was that?
Wasn't me, coach. Welcome to the straight red card. Get off our lawn.
Well, holy shit. Welcome, Filippo Silva, to the straight red card.
What did I get myself into, man? What was that?
Fucking technological disaster is what you were into. So the guy hosting the show is Fuck Metronet today.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to do his best to hang in. Hey, Brett, can you hear us? Brett? All right. Well, guess not. It's just me and you. It's the
Taken by Don Garber.
I guess so.
What? No, I can hear you.
Okay, you can. So we're still going to use the slides. You think those are going to work?
Oh, he's gone. He's gone.
Oh, he muted himself. You're muted.
He's gone.
You're muted, Brett. Can we use the slides?
What is up with my display is just fucked right now, guys.
Okay, so I'm going to say no, we're not going to use the slides. I just spent 2 hours making them last night. That's all.
You can always use them again, but we can always use them as a guide.
Yeah, I know. We were going to use them as a guide for the discussion, but you know what? We're just lucky to be on here. How you doing? How was your vacation?
The vacation was a while back, but it was good. It was good. I went to Mexico for a little bit. Stayed in Texas. It was good. I loved Mexico, man. That food there, I miss it. I'm gonna have to go back soon. I ate way too much. Gained some pounds in Mexico. Lost it back in the United States.
I was going to say
it's weird. It's weird because a lot of the times people say they come to the U.S. and they gain pounds, like people from Brazil.
McDonald's.
Yeah, it's just about where you eat because
right.
Getting in shape in the U.S. really ain't that hard. It's hard to stay in shape in Mexico because you can eat the food is delicious. You just keep eating tacos there all day, burritos. Oh, it's just wonderful. So, yeah, happy to be back.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't get the runs or anything while you were down there, and you look in fabulous shape. You know, saying that it's easy to be in shape in the United States is maybe a little bit of a jab at me, but that's okay. Oh, I still have to mail you your shirt. I was gonna wear it today, but I don't have it. I know since I texted you that ages ago, I've moved out of my house, got a new job, moved to Fisher's. My dog died. All kinds of weird shit's happened. So it's been
sorry for that.
Yeah, I know. I didn't want to explain all that in text, so I didn't do it. But hey, you're oh God. Oh, so Brett's still gonna do the other stuff in the show. Okay, so I'll read the turd in the background. Welcome to the straight red card, starting one of the biggest soccer personalities, starring, I would guess, one of the biggest soccer personalities on the net. You know him, you love him, lady and gentlemen, Grant Wahl.
The glorious Grant Wahl.
Yeah, I know, it's kind of funny.
He unblocked me, by the way. He unblocked me.
Again? Did he?
No, he unblocked me now. He unblocked me.
I thought he blocked you, unblocked you, blocked you, and unblocked you.
Yeah. It's a messy relationship right there, but it was a gentleman move of him to unblock me.
Well, I think that's a good idea on his part. Really, and we've said this before, but he's actually a really nice guy. Maybe that's when you say somebody's a nice guy, that's usually sometimes covering up for a fault or something like that. Well, but he's a nice guy.
Let's put it this way: Grant Wahl might not be his thing to have some sports talks in a bar while you have a beer. It can get very aggressive, and that might not be him, right?
No, it is not him.
Exactly. So I'm more of the drunk guy in the bar talking about soccer on Twitter, and that doesn't go well with Grant Wahl. That's the problem.
You're never drunk.
I'm not, but I am just a very aggressive soccer. Not aggressive, but just like when I'm talking about soccer, there's a lot of passion when it comes to it, and I put it all out. And on Twitter, it doesn't go too well sometimes.
Yeah, I don't think he'd do well hanging out with Seb and Hercules. That wouldn't be his style.
No,
I don't think so.
No, he's more of like a producer, not right, a director, like someone like that, right?
Yeah. Bro, who cares about Grant Wahl? I don't know. We don't. All right. I guess we'll start. Fuck it. We're just going to dive the fuck into this shit because usually it takes like 15 minutes for our people to show up. But what the hell? Brett's not here, so it's just you and me. And
Mhm.
I don't want to bullshit. Wow, Brett really did get a tan. Okay, so let's start.
And a
with-
better mic.
Yeah, well, we're all working on that. Um, so Marsh, Adams, Aronson, Leeds, after 2 games, in your eyeballs, where are they falling on this table by the end of the season? Just based on 2 games, I know that's a lot to predict.
I still think they're on the 10 to 14 range, right? Obviously, the results were good.
Yeah.
Got to win at home, tied away, and they faced fairly good teams, right? It's not like they defeated relegation zone team. Well, Wolves could be, even though I don't think they are on paper. Brendan Aronson and Tyler have been fine. I thought Brendan was better than Tyler in the first game, and
Me
then
too.
Tyler was better than Brendan in the second game. Now, Jesse Marsh might be the biggest disappointment here.
Yeah.
Not really because of the first game, but more of the second game. He doesn't really change, right? And when they had a 2-0 lead and Southampton was pressing the life out of his team, Leeds, and suffocating them in the game, he didn't make a sub until the 80-something minute, right? And that was when the game was 2-2 already. And
Yeah.
to be quite honest, they didn't really need a tactical sub or something genius. They honestly just needed fresh legs. They were gassed out. That's all they needed. Fresh
Yeah.
legs probably would have done the job. The second goal, you could clearly see Jack Harrison couldn't really run anymore.
Right. Yeah.
And as the coach, if you take too long to react at that level, that's the Premier League or World Cup level or La Liga or Champions League, it gets you punished. And I think a lot of that draw was on Jesse. Obviously, a lot of getting the 2-0 lead was also Jesse. So credit to him. But he didn't adjust on time, and boom, there you go.
Yeah.
Got the draw, and it felt like a loss almost. They
It
should have got
did.
the win.
It did feel like a loss because, a win there and, Leeds already got 6 points. I mean, that's a huge thing for them. But I did notice that Jesse at the end of the game did mention in the interview that, a little bit of that was on him. Like he wasn't sure, he mentioned that he should have brought other people in, but he wasn't sure who was fit enough to play. Now that's kind of a cop out a little bit because, you got
I
other guys.
don't accept that excuse. So
Yeah.
the club I watch the most is Palmeiras. In a club level, it's Palmeiras. The national team, it's maybe I watch the US even more than Brazil at times, but Palmeiras has probably the best coach in South America right now. And that's why they've been able to win 2 of the Libertadores. And he talked about this once. Before the game starts, him and his assistant and the whole coaching staff, they have 20 or more different variations of what can go wrong. So what do we do if this happens? What do we do if that? So if someone gets a red card in the first 30 minutes, what do we do? He has that planned out. So when it happens,
Yep.
he doesn't have to think much. He's seeing what's happening, quickly do it. And we saw that in the Libertadores when Palmeiras was man down early in the game. He had a plan right away. And they managed to go through with they beat the current Brazilian champions playing man down because the coach had an immediate plan. Now, Jesse say that he didn't have a plan for his team to gas out in the final 20 minutes. That's pretty bad.
It's pretty
bad.
ridiculous on 2 fronts, though. It's ridiculous because, first of all, the last friendly they played, he played them all 90. Then last game, he played a lot of guys the whole game. And now we're on game 3 and we're going to do it again. Now, you could say to yourself, well, a week should be enough, to get these guys enough rest. But apparently it's not when you're busting your balls that hard and playing that high of a press.
Yeah, and that's why I think a lot of the people are going to overreact and overhype the team and think that Leeds could do something special this season. I actually am worried that Leeds will tank as the season goes on with injuries, and just like we saw this game, they gas out because it's a very high intensity possession. It's a very high intensity style of playing. They don't hold the possession for very long so they can breathe. It's just intense. How are they going to last? And they don't have depth for Premier League standards. They don't. I know they're close to signing, I think, Ismail Sarr.
Yeah.
He's actually very good. Played for Watford last season. I don't know if that's confirmed or not. But Jesse needs to understand how to adjust. And I see that people are there saying also about the Brendan Vasquez Leeds rumors. Guys, that rumor doesn't make sense for many reasons.
No.
One, Brendan Vasquez wouldn't get a work permit right now in England because he didn't play for the national team. They would apply, would get rejected. So it was clearly a rumor. Whatever journalist put that out, didn't do basic journalism, which is pretty common nowadays. So it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of the depth, they do have Sinistera, but then you just had Bamford go out. So now you're back to Rodrigo, Sinistera, Aronson, and maybe one other guy as your rotation for the forwards. And those guys are running their asses off. Their dicks are falling off. They're running so hard. So again, yeah, you're right. There's not enough depth. And I think that's going to catch them right before midseason.
Well,
I think they're going to have a lull.
It's a problem Bielsa had, right? Eventually, that high intensity. I know Bielsa did more of a man marking press, and Jesse does more like zono press, but it's still a freaking insane system that it's a little bit outdated also nowadays, right?
Yeah.
And I've talked about this extensively. I was talking, I think, to Jay Hernandez on Twitter once. About like this press. Does this work? And yeah, it does work. You see teams do it. Liverpool is a high pressing team, right? You see even Manchester City playing with a high line press at times. Obviously, there's levels to it. When I look at, for example, I've always noticed this, and it's kind of weird because I study soccer almost. I try to go back in time and see things that happen. And usually events that revolutionize the game are World Cups. In the World Cup, they'll do some revolutionary tactic. They'll learn from it. The world will be watching, and then you see that being implemented more often, right? If you go back to the 70s, the Dutch team, the Netherlands, they revolutionized the world of soccer with total football. Then you see a little bit of Italy. I think it was in the 80s, a little bit of a more defensive approach. And then you saw teams copy that. And even Brazil in 94, when they won the World Cup in the United States, Brazil was a more defensive-minded Brazil than normal. And it keeps going, right? You see the tiki-taka from Guardiola extend to France. And then you see France, also in 2018, a transition team. And then we saw a lot of teams playing transition in recent years. A lot of it inspired on the French national team that won the World Cup. So I have yet to see a pressing team win a World Cup.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you say that too, that people do borrow tactics from World Cup teams when coaching a club team is so much different than coaching a national team.
Well,
so
they don't take the tactics. What I meant is they use it as inspiration, right? They see it work. So what happens is in the World Cup, because national teams have less time to prepare, when you get the tactics right, it really works and you really get it out because the other team's not going to be prepared. There's also not enough scouting. In the World Cup, the scouting is a little bit limited because you have less data on a team, right? You're not watching them every weekend. So you see the tactics work or fail. It's more visual. It's more visible in the World Cup, along with the entire world watching it. But I don't know about you, but I don't remember a high intensity pressing team winning a World Cup.
No, I don't think that's ever happened. I think the what you do see is you do notice, for instance, when we beat Spain in the Confederations Cup, the next World Cup, everyone was paying attention to that because that was out in front, the Confederations Cup at the time. And when Switzerland beat Spain in that next World Cup, they asked the coach, well, where'd you get your plan? He said, I just basically ripped it off Bob Bradley in the United States men's national team. Did the exact same thing he did. So, make sure, by the way, people, if you aren't already watching Tactical Manager, that you do so. Just, look them up on the YouTubes. You'll find them. One of our favorites. And if you haven't done that already, I'd be surprised. But if you haven't, go do that. Jose Reyes says, thank you for the $10, Jose. Leeds United States of America. A.R. Tillman. Yes, he got up there today. Or not this weekend. Derek Speeney, now Filippo on the straight red card. This isn't your first time here, though. You've been here?
No, I've been here, I think, 2 or 3 times.
2 or 3 times, yeah. Pretty good start to this fall. Now for the Qatar Tea Party against England. Here's some Breck Shea money. Breck Shea's not even playing right now.
No, that's why Inter Miami's struggling. They got to play Breck Shea.
Bench dude,
it's
right?
Unfortunate. Now. It's unfortunate.
Midnight Man, $4.99. Thank you, Midnight Man. Hi guys, what's your thoughts on the Daily Mail article linking Pulisic to Newcastle and Tuchel no longer having faith in him? I'll let you start with that one.
Yeah. So the reason they're linking to Newcastle is apparently Newcastle has this gentleman's agreement with the top 6 clubs of England, where they said, if you have any of your players available for a transfer or loan, please let us know. Right? They're trying to,
They got the
yeah, they
money.
have money and they want to sign. Apparently, they have that gentleman's agreement with the top 6 clubs. So Pulisic's unsettled. He wants to go. Doesn't really work with Tuchel. Chelsea has depth problems right now, so they can't really let Pulisic go.
Right.
That's why the link came. It's not like they're actually negotiating, because Chelsea's not going to let Pulisic go unless they sign at least 1 or 2 forwards.
Yeah. And there's still time to do that. But watching him come out is like the 5th choice in the last game, or the 4th choice, or whatever you want. Yeah. Was kind of depressing. Getting only bit minutes, 20 minutes. I guess he still put them out there when the game was still on the line. So you can say, I mean, Tuchel still values him. But I guess with Havertz not playing so good, maybe he's got a shot in the next game to play. But I mean, not start. I don't know so much.
I mentioned that. I said that in the video today. Actually, I was like, maybe he'll start, and then I would just go back. It's like, who am I kidding? He's not starting. We can only hope.
There's something not right there, and I get it. They brought in some, better players, so he's going to play them first, and those are his guys. So Sterling is going to start every game, I think, that he's healthy. So it's going to be tough, but it is a long season too, and they are playing in Champions League, and they do have to play the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup and this cup and that cup and your mother's cup. So they've got to have depth.
Well, the thing is, Pulisic needs to be a consistent starter. That's how you build confidence. That's how you get match sharp, right? The way he's doing and how he was last season, it was horrible, right? He was just like playing every single position possible. Yeah. I think he just only didn't play center back and goalkeeper at one point. So I don't know, man.
Can I just say, watching Tuchel's teams blows balls, it's boring as fuck. That's all.
Yeah, it's terrorist soccer. Terrorism. Terrorism.
Yeah. And by the way, the guy who wrote, it was that Chris Gary about Brett's hotspot. He tried that for like 3 hours, and he couldn't get a decent enough connection for the show. So there you go. That's why Brett is persona non grata today. All right, let's move on to some other performers this weekend. You do have to give Fulham and Ream and Robinson some Jedi some credit, because they started off the season well with 2 points, and that's usually not what they do when they come back to the Premier League. But what chance does Ream have after the last 2 games we watched? What chance does he have? Is it still 0? It's still 0?
Well, I mean, if we go by Berhalter's logic, right? He said that Brooks can't go because he can't really play well in a high line because he's slow. If Brooks is slow, what is Tim Ream?
I know, but who's the backup? Let's say Zimmerman pulls a left testicle during the World Cup, and you have to have another good guy with a good left foot. I mean, Zimmerman's not a left-footed guy anyhow, but you need somebody in there.
He doesn't have a good foot also, so.
Well, Ream's got a great left foot, I think.
No, Tim Ream does. I said Zimmerman doesn't have a good foot.
No. Oh, shit. Well, yes, I guess it's not spectacular with either foot, but he knows what he's doing. So does Ream, and he's the slow guy of the 2 center backs, right? Zimmerman's the slow guy. Richards covers his ass, and the pass, Miles Robinson's covered his ass. Now, as long as you have one quick guy, if Zimmerman goes down, you can put the other slow guy in for Zimmerman, right? And then you got Ream and Richards, or Ream and whomever, I don't know. It's just an idea.
You're trying to be logical with Greg Berhalter. Greg doesn't do that logic. What he does is he picks whoever he favors and he brings them in. And like, he doesn't care about the logic. Aaron Long and Walker Zimmerman have been having probably one of their worst, at least
club-wise.
At least in the past, from recent memory, right? Aaron Long, post-injury, this is the worst season I've seen from him in recent times. Walker Zimmerman, this is definitely the worst season he's had the past 3 years, because I've followed Walker the past 3 years. He was probably one of the best defenders in MLS, and he still is. But this season, he hasn't been good. And maybe there are Nashville fans here that will disagree with me or agree with me. He hasn't been good. He doesn't make these mistakes very often in MLS, but he has been making it this season. It is what it is. Why? I don't know. It is worrisome because
at least for for Zimmerman, he might be a little distracted, might be looking a little too far ahead to the World Cup. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe that's it. Maybe the pairing he has it at where he's at now isn't to his liking. There could be all kinds of different chemistry.
Or he's just very worried that he might have to play in the World Cup with Aaron Long next to him.
Well, let's hope that doesn't happen, but it very well could. I mean, it very well could. Let's say Richards gets tiny minutes leading up to the World Cup. Let's say CCV is still not regarded. Let's say, EPB isn't highly regarded as well, even though he's playing for Troyes. We could end up with Long Zimmerman. That is a very good chance of that happening.
Which should be fine against Wales and Iran.
But it's, going to be a different story against England, especially if Long plays listen, not all of New York's problems are on Long. I get it. I've heard people tell me that. It's not just his fault. I get it, but he's not playing well. And if you're one of the leaders of the team, you have to play well. Matt Morata, if Brooks is slow, Ream is moving backwards. Mm-hmm. Well, my question is, why isn't Brooks on a team yet? I understand that he's asking for a lot of money, but aren't teams desperate for good, fucking solid center backs? I don't get it.
Well, I don't know exactly what's going on there. It's a little odd, but at the same time, what is Brooks, 30 right now, hitting 30 or 30 already? This is his last big contract. So he's probably trying to prioritizing getting the most money out of it. Not really worried about the World Cup. Probably knows he's not going to go anyway at this point. I'm probably just honestly looking into that. Just, where can I get the most money? This is my last big contract. Where do I go? That's the only explanation for it.
Yeah, it is. So real quickly, Fulham stay up? Do they stay up?
No,
they're still going down, even after the first two performances, although we just saw Liverpool tie again today. So maybe the first tie against Liverpool isn't that impressive because Liverpool can't, frankly, figure out how to fucking score.
No, they're also Mitrovic played very well that game against Liverpool. We'll see if he can keep it up in the Premier League. The other season he had in Premier League wasn't as good, but he was absolutely fantastic in the Championship, right? He had almost
40-something goals, wasn't it?
I think he hit 40 goals in the English Championship, but I think Fulham will get relegated.
You know what? If I could pick some other teams that I knew were going to go down, then I would agree with – I wouldn't I disagree with you, but I can't. Fulham still are at risk to me, and it's sad because that's my club. It's been my club for since the American Beckham played there. What was his name?
Brian McBride or Dempsey?
Little tiny guy. No, there was one American before Dempsey and McBride ever got there. And
I'm not old enough for that. You're going to have to tell me.
Eddie something. Not Eddie Johnson. I know he played there too. Anyhow, we'll let somebody in the crowd tell us. Guys, help me out. Eddie, he also played for Derby before that. That's when I became a Fulham fan that far back, although it was hard to watch the games, to be honest with you back then. This is eons ago. Mm-hmm. Prodigy X says for $4.99, thank you, Prodigy. Lucimi just got sold to Bologna. It means Mackenzie will be a starter now. Now, we were telling you not long ago, but for probably last year, that Lucimi was leaving. So it does mean you thought that Mackenzie would be the starter now because he just started today. So it's good.
Yeah, but we need to see how Mackenzie does, right? Because he was very error prone before anything. So we can't just go on and talk about how we don't want Aaron Long and then want Mackenzie just because he's in Europe, right? Because he's been very error prone himself.
Yes, he's not been great for Genk.
Even for the United States, right?
Right. So sketchy at best. Eddie Lewis, thank you. They had the gall to call him the American Beckham because I guess he was good at free kicks and set pieces, which he was. But, I mean, on the scale of things, he would know Beckham. All right, let's move on to do you know who the hell this Von Coville guy is outside that he's a British American guy?
Yeah, he's a forward. I didn't know much about him, but when I was doing the episode, I saw that there was another American playing for Hull City.
Yeah.
Right? And it was Von, what's his name again?
Coville.
Von Hoville. Coville.
I've never heard of him. Guy.
He's 19. He's a forward, and he's English American. I don't know if he's good. He's bad. I can't. If I told you, I would be BSing you right now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hull City's playing him. He's a 19-year-old kid. I mean,
he's on the bench, right? He comes off the bench.
Off the bench, but he just started coming off the bench too. This is a new thing.
Yeah, we
So,
can't just get excited for any dual national in Europe also because,
No.
again, Alex Mighton was a backup of Nottingham Forest, and they are in the Premier League, and he's there, and he's the same age. So
and now he's gone. He's
what do
going
you
to
mean?
leave. I think Mighton's going to get. He's
He was
gonna
on the
get
bench yesterday.
He's going to get loaned. I thought people were talking. He's going to get loaned because he's really got very little shot at getting many minutes. And so
No, that is true. That is true. I heard Belgium, but he was on the bench this weekend. So
going to Belgium seems like such a. I don't know. I mean, you
seems
go
like a very nice vacation. It's a beautiful country.
It is. It is. I guess, if that's the only thing you got left and you can play for Anderlecht or Club Brugge, although Club Brugge don't like to play Americans, they like to let them warm the bench. So I don't go there. I mean, just ask anybody that's American that's been there. And then Odasawi's there now. And it looks like, he got injured, had a bad game, and now he's probably not going to play anymore. I don't know. What about Pepe's situation? How bad is this situation? Can you even put words to how bad this situation is? Could it have been avoided?
I mean, it was his decision, right? He went for the club with more money, and now he is behind almost all the center forward options we have.
Four?
Maybe more than fourth, because when you think about it, he's definitely behind Jesus and Pifak. He's probably behind Haji Wright. He's playing and scoring. At this point, he's probably behind Brendan Vasquez, that's scoring and playing. Pepe's not playing or doing anything. And also, Vasquez has more goals this season than Pepe had last year. So, in MLS. So, he's probably like fifth option right now. He's not playing. You can't bring in a player that's getting no minutes.
How's he going to turn this around? It looks hopeless to me. Augsburg are a horrible fucking team.
I honestly... I don't know. He made that decision. I don't know what he's going to do, man. Maybe his best bet is for them to get relegated. Then they'll have to sell players, and maybe they sell him, or they sell players and he plays in Bundesliga too. I don't know, because he's also not going to get a transfer, because who's going to sign him? He doesn't play. They don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's the only good news for him is Sargent's on just as bad of a team as he's on. And they're playing in the championship. And I thought...
Yeah, but at least Sargent plays.
Well, he only came off the bench last game. He started the first one, and I thought, okay, well, that's good. At least
he at least comes in. Like Pepe just doesn't play at all.
I'll say this for Sargent. At least he came in for that greedy fucking son of a bitch, Rashika. Like, don't put Rashika on the same time with Sargent, because Rashika will not pass it to him.
The problem with Pepe is he literally went for the club that paid the most money. And surprisingly, the club that paid the most money was Augsburg, because they usually don't pay the most money. But it was not really a soccer decision. It was just clearly a money decision. Not that Wolfsburg would have been a great option either, but probably better than this.
Yeah. Speaking of bad decisions, having Rongren on your show, Jimmy Conrad. Come on, man.
What happened?
They had Rongren on their show.
Who?
The Dutch guy, the former U.S. soccer scout. The guy that didn't bring Subotic, who let Subotic, didn't pick Subotic. They brought him on the show, and he couldn't even come up with an 11. Like 11. He had like 13 players on his team. Like, that's not an 11. Anyhow, if you don't know Rongren, look him up.
No way. So he didn't know he's a scout for U.S. soccer. He didn't know 11 American players.
He used to be a scout. He's the guy that never called, who said he called Jonathan Gonzalez's parents. And the
one that lied.
Yes, that guy.
That he said he was with the parents in their house, and it was all BS.
Yes.
Oh, I remember that guy.
That guy was on their show.
Why did they bring that guy?
I don't know. Because he's on CBS, and I think Jimmy's affiliated with CBS somehow.
So he was probably forced to bring him. Yeah, there's no reason for Jimmy and Pierce to bring that guy.
That guy was as befuddled as he's ever been. I swear to God. Anyhow, hey, how about Altidore? He scored.
Yeah, I forgot to report on him on the abroad. He did score.
So what does that mean?
It means absolutely nothing. It means Liga MX is the new retirement league. That's what it means.
I guess so. What the hell is going on there? Maybe Altidore forced his way to Puebla in Mexico because somebody told him your only shot at your last World Cup is to go somewhere abroad and score a whole shitload of goals. Maybe that's what he's thinking. I don't know. Am I crazy?
Or money. I don't
De
know.
Niro, because you would have thought he would have been extremely happy playing for Bruce Arena and the Revs. I
Well,
don't get
maybe
it.
he just wanted to go to Mexico and get some good food, man. I don't know.
There you
I
go.
mean, I would do it. If honestly, look, think about it. The summer's ending. It's gonna get cold up in Massachusetts. It's gonna get very cold there up in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, "Hey, why don't I go to somewhere warmer, get some good food, live
Mm-hmm.
well?" I don't know, man. I lived in New York for 6 years, and if someone came up to me around August, September, and say, "Hey, want to be in Mexico for a year?" I was like, "That's not that bad of an idea right now."
Yeah. Well, it will be cold in New England. Tell me if you've ever, as a Brazilian American, heard this term. It's going to be colder than a witch's titty. Have you ever
No, I
heard that?
never heard it.
Use it. It's very, very good. Colder than a witch's titty. It's a very common thing, very commonly used in the Midwest. I know it doesn't sound like it. Malik Tillman,
Mhm.
Sky Tillman, as we call him now.
Or air.
Yeah, I mean, you could go that far and link him with Jordan the way that guy's leaping. Holy shit. 2 goals, 2 games, 2 headers, 2 of them way up in the air. Both of them look pretty unlikely when they were serviced. So is rolled on the outs and Malik Tillman inching his way into Berhalter's whatever crevice?
You keep asking about Greg, but you do know that's not really what Greg applies on his coaching decisions, right?
I do. I'm just putting you on the spot.
Yeah, he's again. Ideally, he should bring Malik Tillman over Roldan. He Malik Tillman also on the ball offers more. We see him
Yes.
being able to turn, being able to beat a man off the dribble, and dangerous in the air. But that's really not Greg Berhalter's. That's not the criteria he really uses, right? If he used that criteria, it's not even Tillman over Roldan. There's another like 5 or 6 players over Roldan.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, we've talked about this 1,000 times. There's no need to beat a dead horse, but I mean, he plays fine for his club, but they play a different way in Seattle. They do
He
not
does
play.
okay. They also always watch it. He's just okay. The team plays well, and also they're. It looks like they might not make the playoffs, so
Yeah.
they need to relax. That he doesn't play well for the. He does okay for the Sounders.
I
They're
mean,
a very
he
good
has
team.
played well, but in the past.
Yeah, they're a good team. Also, the Sounders are very well coached by Brian Schmetzer. They have great players around him. He's adjusted to it, and he's like a utility player in the team. He
Yeah.
doesn't have to create. They have so many good players. He doesn't have to create.
Yeah, that really hasn't been his role to be the creator, that's for sure. All right, and how about all these people calling for Balogun already just because he scored a PK? Can we chill out on that? Can we chill?
Yeah.
Chill on Balogun?
I mean, sure. The only purpose I think would be good to bring Balogun is you cap tie him right away, or you make him foul the one-time switch. That's okay because then you guarantee him. But guys, I watched the game too, the last one. A bit okay. Like he was able to draw the PK, but there were bad moments, and then they got a red card, and they had to just like defend. No, not yet for Balogun. Let's see a little bit more. He has 2 goals actually. He scored a header in the first game, and then a PK in the second one.
I
But-
mean, go ahead. I was going to say it's not really if we capped him, it wouldn't be predatory necessarily because he's got about zip chance of playing for England.
No.
Zero chance.
Yeah.
So, and that kind of brought us to this other thing. Like, remember when you said, like, the better the United States gets, the more apt we are to get dual nats. And I thought, okay, that's true. But also, look at England. They're really, really good. And they're losing dual nats left and right because of it.
Well,
So,
that's also because it's like Brazil
quality.
too. Brazil, when you grow your quality,
yeah.
what I meant is we're gonna lose less dual nats that matter.
Mhm.
The ones that matter, you probably won't lose. Like England doesn't really lose. Well, they lost Musiala. That one mattered for sure. But that was a different story. That was more because of Bayern more than anything. But you see Brazil losing a bunch of world-class players, but it doesn't really matter, right?
And they usually losing to Portugal, right?
Italy too,
Italy
right?
as well.
Jorginho, Emerson, Thiago Motta to Italy. Portugal, they lost Deco, Pepe.
Yeah.
There's more players that they've lost that are world-class players. But it won't matter, right? It'll just be eventually, if you become so good, it reaches a point that you're just like, hey, you want to play for the national team? I'm not going to keep recruiting you. I'll call you when I think you're good enough, and if you want to be with us, you're here. If you don't, you don't. It is what it is.
I could see, honestly, in the future, England regretting losing Musa. I really could.
I don't see them regretting it, but I could see it reach a point where Musa, you look at it and you're like, hey, Musa could have been a part of your roster. Regretting it, I don't know, because you look at the players they have at a young age. Like, he's probably the position of Jude Bellingham. That's the same age as him.
Yeah, I guess I look at somebody like Calvin Phillips, who I think is massively overrated, and I think he's got a way higher
but Jude Bellingham will take that spot, and then it's Declan Rice. They have
good.
players. They have players coming up. I don't think they'll regret it, but it could unless he scores against England, then they might regret it.
Well, what if he becomes like a huge superstar? I mean, he's got the potential. And I watch him play, and I think here's a guy. The ball looks like it's glued to his foot. He's got massive potential. He's only 20 years old.
Yeah, I think he has a lot of potential, but at the same time, you look at players like I said, Jude Bellingham at a younger age being extremely good in Bundesliga, right?
Mm-hmm.
While Yunus Musa he's struggling in La Liga. He's not putting up master class
Last game was not
it was like he's but Jude Bellingham is like killing it at a younger age, killing it in Bundesliga. You see players like when Mbappe was younger. He's not. Could he become eventually? There are late bloomers, and he could take longer. He looks like the potential to be an elite player, maybe not a world-class player. It depends on how he develops, of course. He hasn't had one season where he was a starter.
Yeah.
That's something to be said, right? And I know he's very young, but we've seen players that are 18, 19, and 20 start for good clubs. That does happen. It's not something crazy. So we'll see with him. I do think this potential is high, but it's understandable.
Yeah, I think we'll see what he does. I think the good thing right now is I think that he's getting played in his actual real position, whereas before he was getting played out wide by Valencia all the time and asked to be in an attacking role. When I think where Berhalter has played him is where he naturally should be, somewhere around there. I like him in the double pivot. You know.
Yeah,
I mean, Berhalter won't admit it, but I guess in some ways that's a 4-2-3-1. So maybe we do actually play a 4-2-3-1 on occasion when, especially when Adams is being hounded every time he gets the ball. So Frank Kassler, $4.99. Thank you, sir. Tillman should be the 9. He used to play the 9. He does everything Greg wants. He can drop deep and help with the buildup and finish crosses. Go ahead. I'll let you address that. As a 9.
I need to see more from Tillman to say he's a 9. I mean, look, probably not the primary option for the 9, but I'm open to trying. I'm open to Greg. Like, he already brought Tillman in camp, so Tim's aware of his system. So he should bring Tillman in September and maybe give him a shot in the center forward, see how he does. I don't know if he's a center forward because, Frank, I've never seen him play as a center forward. Obviously, his player profile, right, the way his ability, it looks like he could play there, and I know he has played there in the past at youth level, and I even know that Greg did think about that. It was talked about when he was recruiting Malik Tillman. So I'm open to trying that. Will it work? I don't know. It seems like Greg's system just kills off center forwards.
And, we do seem to be in desperation mode for a 9 or a false 9 at this point. And I know a lot of people have been saying, well, just play fucking Aronson at the 9.
I say that too, me and Pete.
For
what Greg wants, I mean, because he puts Jesus up there, and then you're going to say, what can't Brendan do as a center forward? Well, Brendan can't really win many headers, and neither can Jesus, right?
Yeah.
Can Brendan press? He can press. Can Brendan finish? Yeah, he finishes just fine. Does he crash the goal in crosses and get in those goals that he kind of like the Leeds own goal? Yeah, he does that too. Mm-hmm. Can he hold up the ball? Yeah, he'll probably get bullied, but he'll draw fouls. Can he combine? Yeah, so Brendan's probably a good option to try there too.
All right, Tony Masters. That sounds like a fishing name. A guy goes out and fishes.
Mhm.
I guess, don't they have like that shit on TV now? Like the Fishing Masters or whatever? The fishing.
I don't
No,
watch TV, man. I don't
I
watch
know. It's called the World Series of Fishing. I don't watch it either. I'll flick around
People-
and go buy that one.
Yeah, they talk about TV shows and the Netflix series. I really don't watch that much. So I watch a lot of soccer, and then I have work, and then I need to have time to go to the gym and time with my girlfriend. So I really don't watch it that much. Usually when I watch TV shows is when she forces me to watch them. So there's that.
I do all of those things too, Filippo, except for go to the gym and have a girlfriend, because I don't need that shit. I don't actually need either of that. You know, it might help for me to jog occasionally, but with my hips and my knees, it ain't happening.
You don't need a girlfriend. She's just gonna force you to watch TV shows at this point. So
no, well, and
you're gonna go to her. It's like, hey, there's this Chelsea versus Leeds game. She's like, no, we gotta finish. Tell me a name of a TV show, man. I don't even know.
Star Trek, whatever. I don't know.
She's definitely not gonna watch that. Come on.
I heard that.
No, but I have a funny story actually for the summer.
Mm.
I got media passes for the Manchester City game, and I met Pep Guardiola, all the players, Kevin De Bruyne, everyone right there in front of me. And for the vlog, I took my girlfriend to help me. Okay. She doesn't know jack crap of soccer, anything.
Oh God.
So the first thing, so pretty much the first thing is she's right next to Pep Guardiola, and her face is just, who cares? Right in the field.
She does not give two shits.
No, she's right at the field. Well, she enjoyed the stadium, right? NRG is a beautiful stadium in Texas, in Houston. But she was like,
yeah. Is she American? I guess what I'm saying is she's Brazilian, American, and she doesn't care about.
No, she's actually just Brazilian.
She's just Brazilian and doesn't care about soccer or football.
No, she'll care like if my team plays her club team. She'll care if her club team wins just to make fun for no reason. Okay. If they lose, she pretends it never happened. But no, it's pretty much that. Doesn't know who Pep Guardiola was. So I asked her to take a bunch of pictures, get whatever she could. She helped with that, but didn't give two craps that she was in the field with all those players. Yeah, Kevin De Bruyne, all of them.
Yeah, pretty amazing.
Ederson was there, the Brazilian goalkeeper, and she didn't know who he was.
Yeah, Holland. Brett, can you take it back to the? We had a chat there where somebody actually paid. Can we? Yes. So Brett can hear us because I know he's making comments.
He's alive. He's alive
through the straight red card. Yeah. All right. So Tony Masters, the Fisher, says for $5. Thank you, Tony. Hoppy is like Aronson, but on steroids any day over rolled on. Okay, so Hoppy got what, 30 seconds? He's at least the fuck out of Majorca, right? He's out of that hellhole. How do you see this working out? I hear through the rumors that we're going to see a bit more Hoppy as the games go along. We'll see 10 and we'll see 15, and then they're going to start thinking about starting them.
We couldn't see less Hoppy than we saw in Mallorca, so that's the positive. So besides that, I'll just say I am cautiously optimistic. That's all.
Yeah. I do think that they're a team that needs help up top, and as long as I think his attitude is much. It's not going to be misconstrued as much in his own language than it was, I think, in Spain. I mean, there's a lot of talk of him being very arrogant and players taking his arrogance. He's not arrogant. He's super confident. I think there's a difference, but that's really hard to tell sometimes when you cross cultures.
So I think one thing to say is, first, we need to stop buying into BS excuses. Like people said that he didn't play in Spain because he didn't speak Spanish.
That was ridiculous. Yes.
Yeah, it's like, look, you get Brazilian kids that come out of the favela that speak Portuguese and no other language. They go to Europe, to a country they don't speak any language, and they figure it out, right? Mm-hmm. So Hoppy, it wasn't because of the language. He just wasn't good enough for Mallorca. But look, maybe the championship is what he's good enough, and we'll find out very soon. So to me, Hoppy's just a wait-and-see situation. He has a lot to prove. If he can't make it in the English championship, the next step is MLS. So we'll see.
I don't think that's going to happen, and maybe I'm being too nice, but I do see a genuine talent in Matthew Hoppe. I believe in it.
I
get
saw
him.
it in the Gold Cup, but I never saw it outside of that. So we're
I
gonna have to
know.
wait and see. Like I said, I'm cautiously optimistic. I want to see it to believe it right now.
I mean, I get him wrong on occasion, but you know who I did get right? George Bello.
Yeah. What about Break Shea?
Yeah, I always thought he's a clown. Never was a big.
Whoa.
Nope, was never a big Breck Shea fan. Always thought he was a clown. And that goes back to, even his days at Dallas when he was.
If I had controlled the screen right now, if it was my channel, you would have been canceled.
Okay, let me tell you a little tiny story. I'm going to keep it brief. But I was in touch with someone very close. This person personally told me.
I think you sort of got canceled for the Break Shea slander. We don't tolerate this here.
I'm just telling you what I've heard. This is back when he was at FC Dallas and was just coming up as a star. He had a roommate who was one of his teammates. And his teammates, 2 of them in a row, complained that they wanted out of living with Breck Shea because he'd stay up till fucking 4 a.m. with like girls. He'd have girls and all kinds of girls in and out. And he was more interested in that than he was soccer. And that's the first time I thought to myself, well, this guy's not going anywhere.
He is the GOAT.
Right. Well, he knows his snakes, which is really good. Brett, okay, Anthony Tanaj. Did I get that right, Anthony? Tanaj. I'm not going to struggle with that like you do with Mönchengladbach.
No, I can say Borussia Mönchengladbach.
You are doing really good with that. And by the way, you can just say Gladbach because that's what everybody does.
Or not Dortmund.
I wouldn't do that because Mönchengladbach has won 5 titles, I believe, in their history. And
but they're also Borussia, not Dortmund.
That's true. Well, they're from the same region, but just not the same city. All right. Conrad going to Olympiacos, a similar move. God damn it. When Aronson joined Salzburg because both teams are the top dogs in a small league, so he could ball out. Okay, hold up. Wait a minute here. Those are not the same thing, Salzburg and Olympiacos. I mean, I'll let you go first. I don't think so.
For starters, Salzburg's just a better team, right?
Yes.
And then Austria or Greece, they're both weak leagues. Which one is worse? It's kind of like picking the tallest Smurf at this point. So Conrad going to Olympiacos, a similar move to when Brendan joined Salzburg because both teams are top dogs in a small league. In that sense, yes, they are the top dogs. That is true. So he could ball out. And that is true also. He can go there, ball out, and then try to make a bigger jump. The only difference is Brendan went from Philly to Salzburg, so he went up. Brendan always goes up. Conrad has been going down, and then now he has to ball out to start going back up, right? It was Barcelona, Marseille, now Olympiacos. Brendan keeps moving up. MLS, Austria, Premier League. So I understand what he meant. He meant that they're dominant in their league. So he's expected to ball out, gain his confidence, and hopefully maybe get some Europa League. I don't know if they qualified. They're close to qualifying, I think.
I thought that I don't know where they finished in Greece last season, so I don't think they're in the Champions League.
No, they won. They won.
Well, then they're in the Champions League. Don't they have to go through the
Europa League. I don't even think Greece. I don't know how it works, man.
No, they get a spot. They get at least not into the obviously they don't go right into the group stage. Like,
they're in the Europa League playoffs. Right now.
That's the playoffs that get you into the
because they lost 4-0 to Maccabi Haifa.
Oh boy, yeah.
That's why that was the Champions League playoff round. They lost to Maccabi Haifa 4-0. So they're not a good team, man. Josh Cohen plays for Maccabi Haifa. Also, they're from Israel.
Yeah, they're out already. Good point, Brian. You just helped my brain. See, my brain was thinking, well, Champions League just got started. They can't be out already. Yes.
Oh, yeah, they found a way to get out quickly.
So, I mean, whereas Salzburg worked their way into the group stage last time, they're just a way better team. And as you mentioned, Aronson on his way up. Conrad seems to have a lot of issues he needs to work out. Listen, I said it. I may be wrong again. Where I'm really have these bright, shiny thoughts about Hoppe. I've never really been that impressed by Conrad. So
look at Daniel's chat.
What's Dan? Brett, can you bring up Daniel's chat?
The very last one right now. No, not Brian. Europa League, maybe the other one. He said, I met Conrad de la Fuente in Washington 2 years ago. He went to the bathroom stall to take a shit, and I waited for him so I could take a selfie. He told me to fuck off, though. So Conrad is an asshole. I actually would like to know if this story is true or if it's a fake story. But honestly, if you follow me to the bathroom, I'll probably say, dude, come on, man.
Come on, dude. I just dumped a log. Give me
Like,
some
yeah,
fucking
can you
space.
really?
And we don't know whether it was an uncomfortable shit, because you can have those too. Like it's just not coming out.
We don't know what Conrad ate, man. He lived, I believe he grew up in Miami. We got some spicy food down in Miami.
Yeah, it could have been the runs. So that's not, he had a stomach ache. So, I mean, he might have been in a bad mood. You never know. He might have sat on there for a half an hour and nothing
I'll
came
tell you
out.
one thing. If you go to Mexico and you eat a lot of spicy food like I did, and you have to go to the bathroom, you don't come out of the bathroom with the best mood. So,
Okay. I didn't know you had any issues in Mexico with that. All right.
no, it's just that sometimes I over-exaggerate on spicy food because it's so delicious. It's
It
so
is
good.
delicious. Absolutely. So we when Brett and I start Two Fat Foodies, which is another show, we're going to have you on as one of our guests. It's going to be another show because Brett and I are foodies. I mean, we cook. We're like chefs, but we're not chefs. You know what I mean? All right. So here's one of your guys today went down injured. Johnny went down injured. They carted him off on a golf cart.
No, he was just CONCACAFing. He cramped. He's fine.
It's just a cramp.
It was a cramp. He's fine.
I can't believe that they took him off on a golf cart, though.
Yeah, because he was wasting time. He stayed so they would go get him, so it would waste more time.
That is very CONCACAF. Now,
Or CONMEBOL, it's the same thing.
Weren't they up 2-0 at the time?
It was like 2 or 3, 2-0.
Like
but
3. I thought they won 3-0. I don't know why he's wasting time.
they still do it, and it was also late. It was late in the game.
Did you get a chance to watch McKennie today?
I did not. I just watched early in the game that he was playing wide on the left and Cuadrado, but I was like trying to watch him, and then Richards came in, and I was also working. I wasn't able to. I'm going to try to catch the highlight. I talked to Pete a little bit about it. He said he looked a little rusty, which is understandable.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I thought that, it's the game went on. He got better and better and better, actually. Mm-hmm. So I thought he had a very good game. But speaking of guys who may have taken one step too far ahead of themselves, now you got Brian Reynolds at Westerlo or Westerloo. I don't know, something like that. I can spell it. I just can't speak it. He is writing some furious Horvath at fucking Westerlo. And we thought when he went to Roma, everybody thought, well, that sounds way too big for him. And then he got a loan. Now he's here, and nothing's working out for this guy. And what do you think about some of these guys just making moves and making bad moves? We saw Pepe do it. Now, we know Reynolds has made bad moves because he just wasn't ready. We're going to see a lot of this the more and more we see Americans go over.
It's definitely it's obviously easier for us to say now it's a bad move, right? All of us, me, you, everyone, because what if he went to Roma and played? So it's hard to say. Who's
the manager at Roma? We all knew that wasn't happening.
But it wasn't, right? At the time, it wasn't.
No, it's the great one who's there at the time.
No, but when he got signed, it wasn't Jose Mourinho.
But as soon as Jose Mourinho was named, we all knew he would.
From there, but when he signed, it was like in January of that year, 2020, I think, and or 2021. No, I don't remember. I think it was 2020, and Jose Mourinho wasn't the coach at the time. I don't know. The thing is, sometimes the player is just not good enough.
Did you ever rate him as an FC Dallas player?
Well, he was. Yes, I did rate him. He was an interesting player there, but he wasn't good in MLS. It was more of the potential, right? You saw some dribbling ability there, some pace, and you could see maybe there's something there, right? There's something going on there.
Well, here's the thing. If all you can say is there's something there, somebody needs to tell him, Brian, there's something there, but you're not ready. Stay at FC Dallas and become a dominant player.
No, that is one way to look at it. And I know Greg likes that, and I don't disagree with that. But if you look at, for example, a player like Luca De La Torre, he went to Fulham, failed, right, in Fulham. Didn't work out for him. Stayed in Europe, figured it out eventually, changed position. So I can't really bash a player for taking a challenge and for going for some money too, because he definitely made money. But yeah, definitely you can make better career decisions, right? Like Matt Miazga, someone asked him about his move to Chelsea,
Yeah.
and he even said it. He was like, I went there. It's hard to say no to Chelsea when they come knocking on your door. I was 20 or 21 at the time,
Yeah.
and I got a lot of loans. And played in great clubs, learned a lot. So it's hard to say. Obviously, in terms of the short term, Brian Reynolds and Ricardo Pepi made mistakes. Over the long term, we'll find out. Who knows? Maybe they come back to MLS better players. We'll see if they do come back. But
Matt,
I agree with you that
we got to get you out here in 4 minutes. So yeah,
I can say give me 5-10 more minutes, and then I got to go work on an episode too.
No, I don't blame you. Why isn't Gio Caccini getting minutes for Orlando? Because he just got off the plane. I'm sure he will eventually get minutes at Orlando. Another guy that maybe was a little over his head, Cole Bassett.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he just got loaned out from Feyenoord, who loaned him from
a loan of
Colorado.
A loan of a loan.
Yeah. So that's not quite working out for him. What do you think about the rumor of him going to Spain playing Valencia? I mean, I think that's a decent move.
I'm fine with it. Yeah, I'm fine with it. People are saying that Valencia, Leo's better than Valencia. Leo's not that good, guys. They're not that good either. And La Liga is better than France, okay, Liga. So, personally, I think the reason we kind of like it, now talking about me and you, is if we want to watch Way and Musa, we can just watch one game now.
I know, thank God. I know. So many nights I'm just here flicking through shit. I've got all of the Paramount Plus, the fucking ESPN Plus, you name it, I got it now. So I've been watching every game I can, and some of them have frankly not been worth it. What about, we'll end on this one. Dest to Man United. Good move? I mean, no. God, no. But you know what? I don't think he's going to get playing time at Barcelona. He's already riding pine behind two guys who really don't even play the position he played.
Yeah, so the problem with it is we're looking at this about the mess that Manchester United is, which is 100% true. Is Manchester United the best option? No way they're the best option. But if he's not going to play at Barcelona, isn't it better just to go to Manchester and play in that mess?
I think so.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I don't – what do you make of that mess, by the way? How does Man United their culture gets so corrupt and so poisoned that this is what they've become?
I'm actually a Manchester United fan.
I know you are.
I've been for years, and I watch every single game, and it's just quite clear to me. First, for starters, the roster itself is not that bad. It is a roster to be easily top 8 of England, top 8.
It's good on paper, yeah.
Yeah, for the most part, right? There are players that are bizarre how bad they are, like Harry Maguire. Yeah. People think I pick on Harry Maguire because they are like, you're just picking on the English, but it's like, no, I watch Manchester United every freaking week, and I have to watch Maguire, and I can't stand watching Maguire anymore.
Yeah.
So
he's genuinely bad for Man United. He hasn't been bad for the English national team.
Well, it's also the way they play. He hasn't been great for them either, to be quite honest. People just look at the Euros. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They say he wasn't good in qualifying. Just anyhow, Manchester United, it's really just the culture in the club is destroyed. They need to change the entire management right there. It's just like it doesn't really look like a team anymore that they were. And it's so weird because growing up, seeing them under Sir Alex Ferguson, they literally just looked like, the team everyone wanted to go to. That's what they were, right? Mm-hmm. Now they are the team no one wants to go to. They can't sign world-class players because world-class players don't really want to, play
burn in a dumpster fire, because that's what they are right now. Even De Gea is turning into a clown. It's amazing.
Well, the thing is, the Premier League is such a high level that if you go with the mentality that Manchester United has today, you'll get punished. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
It's just that. And Manchester United, they're going to figure it out. They're not going to get relegated like people were saying. That's not going to happen.
No.
But
They
Who
could
knows?
finish 10th.
They could
11th.
finish with no European. That can happen. I
Yep,
can see
12th.
that happening.
Ruben, yeah, it's not tax show, so he didn't miss your
Yeah, I didn't see the super chat,
Yeah, that would be Brett, who is monitoring from afar.
but I didn't see it. I thought we got all of them.
Yeah, I didn't see it. Oh, because you can see the chat. So, by the way, Tack, I can't see the Tack.
Yeah, I can see it. I didn't see us missing anything.
Yeah. As a lifelong Leeds fan of 1 month, I am told that I am quite happy Man U lost. Yeah, I mean, you've got to take losses, and then you're just happy for Leeds. So, hey, I'm going to let you go. I know you got things to do, fish to fry, girls to kiss. One girl in particular.
Yeah, don't say girls, or you're gonna get me in trouble here. Come on.
No shit. All right. I want to thank you, Tack, for coming on the show. Make sure everybody out there likes his show, subscribes to his show. Oh,
What
God, that's
the
Brett.
holy? What is that?
He looks like a Viking.
You just probably lost 100 subscribers right there. Holy crap.
Make sure you like, subscribe, share it with your grandma.
Brett, you're looking creepy right now.
And we'll be back, and we're going to do this more. This isn't the last time Tax.
Like the video. Don't
Make sure you like it. Yes, you're really good at that. I'm really bad at this. All right. We're going to check out. Until the next time on the Straight Red Card. Good night. Let's see how long it takes Brett to put on the ending part.
Was he asking for help?
I don't know.
It looked like he was like asking for help. He still has us live, so people can still hear what we're saying.
I know.